So I would like to correct you there, sir. And this is not me again, Reserve Bank of India. In fact, just to put things in perspective, our population in India as a state is 2.5%, but our contribution to GDP of India is 5%. So that is literally Telangana punching above its weight. That is the size of that. So that goes to show you why I call Telangana the most successful startup of independent India. Our Honorable Chief Minister, in fact, is a firm believer, Shri KTR is a firm believer in getting the basics right, in getting the fundamentals right. While it's easy to talk about emerging technologies, it's fanciful to talk about all the cool things that are happening all over the world, the hyperloops and other things in the world. It's all nice talk, but I think a country like India, which is still a developing nation, should get its basics sorted. So therefore, when we started our journey, we went with the 3I mantra: innovation, infrastructure, inclusive growth. That's exactly what we focused on in the last 7.5 years. Now, what do I mean by innovation? Innovation in today's world is often misconstrued as being, disruption in the technology area, startups, etc., etc. But innovation can happen on many, many fronts. I was amused to hear Krishna when he said big companies cannot innovate. I beg to differ. Even big companies, in fact, can innovate, should innovate if they have to, they want to sustain, if they want to remain around. Because otherwise, you lose your edge, you basically lose your mojo, and you are gone in no time. Because if you think about it, 20 years back, Yahoo was a big name. Today not, and I think each of us in this room, or most of us in this room, the younger lot may not remember that, but most of us in this room had a Yahoo account. I did too. Now I don't even remember my password, because I don't use it anymore. It's lost its relevance, and now we have so many other things that have come up, and so many other things that have just, eclipsed Yahoo and other behemoths of early 2000s. That's the point I'm trying to make. Unless you reinvent yourself, unless you rediscover yourself, unless you reorient yourself to the changing times, changing demands, changing markets, any big company would not survive. The fact that GSK, the fact that all the big companies in the world still continue to be relevant in spite of the onslaught from Krishna and his team, means that they are doing something right. If not everything, they must be doing something right. The point I'm trying to make is invention, innovation is not confined to startups or technology. Even government should innovate. And that's exactly what we have done with our policy making. Mr. Bagla just spoke about how Telangana's industrial policies leads ahead of anybody else. That is very room. Sat for 7 hours with the industry bodies, tried to understand in the very initial days of government. He said, let me sit with you, understand the pain points. Let me understand how I can make a difference. And in 2014, July I think it was, there was a meeting held in this room. And by 2014 November, Telangana came out with its first legislation. That is the Telangana State Industrial Project Approval Self-Certification System, the TS-IPASS. Now it's like Easy Pass, that you would run into in the US. TS-IPASS has been extremely successful. And in case you're wondering, more than 18,000 clearances. We've been able to attract more than 2.3 lakh crores of investment, and we've been able to create a direct job potential of 1.6 million jobs. This is something that is truly amazing for a new state in India. And this growth, the numbers that I just read out, is all despite several things. It's despite the bifurcation blues, because new state has to settle in. There are still issues to be tackled with other state, with our brother state, or sister state as we would like to call it. We have still some issues to settle. The bifurcation blues are still, in some areas at least, they're still there. This is despite the fact that there was demonetization, which affected all of us, which affected the growth of states, districts, countries, the entire country as such, industries also. And this despite the pandemic. 2 years of pandemic, and still Telangana, in fact, as was pointed out by Mr. Bagla, even if you look at an average, it's more than 13%. And if the same growth trajectory continues, then we would certainly be at that magical $470 billion or $500 billion, I think he was referring to. We'll be there by 2030, which is a humongous contribution to India's economy, if you ask me. Innovation was not confined to industrial clearances alone. Innovation was also brought in other spheres of life, such as municipal administration. How we give clearances to the industries in 15 days, and if you do not deliver in the 15-day window, how it is a deemed approval. on the 16th day was also replicated by municipal department. We asked the municipal department also to study how building permissions are given. So today in Telangana, I proudly say as Minister for Urban Development, we are the only state which can promise clearances in 21 days for any layout or building approval. If we don't deliver in the 21-day window, on the 22nd day, without you having to meet any official, it's a deemed approved. In fact, for plots of less than 500 square meters, the approval is instant, it's self-certification. No state in India will tell you this. So this is the sort of innovation Telangana has made. Innovation in Panchayati Raj and rural development. The new act that we brought in for village development is something truly unique. I don't think there is any state in the country which said 10% of the budget from the village panchayati or the municipal body has to be earmarked for greenery. 10% of your budget is green budget. And the new act also espouses, also makes it very, very clear that the village sarpanch or the municipal councillor or the municipal chairperson or the panchayati secretary can lose their job and will lose their job if they do not ensure 85% survival of the plants that have been planted in their respective domains. I don't think any government in India has done this. Now that is the innovation I'm talking about. Innovation itself, to cool technologies. Innovation is about impacting the society in a positive way. And that's what I'm saying. Governments can innovate, others also can innovate. And when I say the 3I mantra, innovation, infrastructure is the second I. On the infrastructure front, why Telangana has grown is because we have spent lots of money. We spent extensive money on ramping up our infrastructure. We were a power deficit state when we started our journey. We had our installed capacity. Today our installed capacity of power is more than 16,000 megawatts and more than doubled in the last 7.5 years. We spent lots of money on it. That is why Telangana is able to provide quality power supply to industry, to households, and also to agriculture. We are the only state in the country, in fact, that provides 24/7 free power to small and marginal farmers. Again, you would not hear this from any other state in India. Infrastructure not only in power, drinking water. We are the only state in the country which had completed, a project which had, the laying of 140,000 kilometers of pipeline. A project called as Mission Bhagirath, which is aimed at providing a portable drinking water connection to each and every one of the 10 million homes, 1 crore households in Telangana. A unique project where we spent nearly $7 billion has been completed, and today Government of India has drawn inspiration from us and has started what is called as Har Ghar Jal, a new program which they are asking other states also to emulate. Infrastructure is not again only on power and drinking water, but also in irrigation. I don't know how many of you in this room know this. The world